Welcome in to episode 3 of our Let's Play Humankind series titled Commonly Uncommon. We are going through a Commons Quarter strategy game in Humankind at Humankind difficulty to see, is the Commons Quarter, which in my opinion is very uncommonly built because the garrison is better, is the Commons Quarter a viable quarter to execute a Humankind game with at the top difficulty level? In the first episode, which is linked in the description below if you want to catch up on any of the episodes prior to see how we got to where we are today, in the first episode, we went through the Neolithic era. In the second episode, we did the very early beginning of the Ancient Era. We are playing as the Assyrians because they have the only Commons Quarter emblematic district in the Ancient Era. It also doubles as a barracks. That's quite nice. So that is what we're currently operating under. And as we found out last week, you can actually build the Danu, our unique emblematic district, in with influence before you incorporate a territory into your city. That adds a whole nother level that I was not expecting of influence management. The early game of Humankind is dominated by decisions around how you utilize your influence. We're about to jump into this episode in which critical decisions will be made about how to use influence. We'll talk about it as we go a little bit, but I think that this game, because we have the ability to buy in these Danus with influence, all of a sudden, this game reaches kind of critical mass of like, there are a million different ways that you could play this game, early game, using your influence. How I choose to do it, I don't even know what's going to happen as we start going. I've like thoughts, but I'm not really sure as the game presents itself what we're going to do. We'll talk about all those options as we go through. I think everyone's going to have different thoughts and opinions on what could have been done here. So drop some comments below. What would you have done as I'm making decisions throughout the episode? I'm interested to see what you utilize your influence for and how you prioritize things here in the Ancient Era. But let's jump into the game and see exactly how I do choose to use my influence in the Ancient Era here early with the Assyrians in Humankind. We are here in our capital city of Assur. Assur has 5 lovely people in it because we have been slowly but surely disbanding some of our extra units that we had into our capital city. So we're disbanding. We're trying to maintain our food balance, right? We've got 10 per food. We got 2 turns to our farmer's quarter. We'll add an extra slot here. And then we're going to have grown at that point as well, right? So we'll grow right after that. We're going to be bouncing food back and forth, but the beauty of that is when we reach our kind of critical mass of food to population ratio, we'll just start training an army. We are playing the Assyrians, so we do possibly want to have some level of army going on. Pillaging is something we benefit from greatly, so we want to probably make sure we get that down. So that's going to be our kind of city balancing act. We've got other things that we're trying to balance really heavily as well, including the relationship with our 2 neighbors. Mr. the Burly Gamer up here, which appears to be in the top corner of the continent, and Mr. Plosive Joman here in the middle of the continent, although we have a lot of space here. Now, Plosive has 3 attachments to his capital city already. Burly, it looks like, has at least a couple as well. And we're burning down this sanctuary. I haven't seen any free peoples yet. There's a lot of land. We are bound to see some free peoples here, and that might open up our strategies a little bit as far as what we want to do. Do we want to be aggressive with our neighbors, or do we instead choose to be aggressive towards free peoples? It depends on how our neighbors are reacting to us and what territories get claimed. Currently, I actually really like where we sit. All the resources appear to be in our area of the continent. There are some up here, but we've got a pretty easy kind of southern claim. If we just lay claim to the southern half of this continent, I think we're going to have a really nice place to kind of sit from. So whereas early war may have been viable or may still be viable if we choose to get forward settled or aggressively settled by one of our neighbors, I think we can actually try to maintain a decent relationship possibly and then use our special abilities and our traits and things like that that benefit our pillaging, perhaps against some free peoples, but we'll see how all that plays out. Obviously, we have to decide how we're spending our influence. Are we going to save up for that second city? Do we save up for a wonder? How many territory claims do we make? As we're looking at each of our outposts, right? When they come in, do we want to pay the influence to buy in some of our different districts? Probably We probably want to get some of this online really fast. This is going to get us industry because it's ebony. This will get us food because it's coffee. That will benefit our city growth immensely. So the question becomes, do you get those online and put off your second city? But the second city is going to get you more influence. And so that a lot of ways to potentially tackle this. So let's see what happens as we run through the game. Let's go ahead to the next turn. There is the ransack successful. Those are important to us because we're currently losing 27 money per turn. And so each time we have a turn happen, we kind of want to be able to get gold in some way, whether that's burning down an outpost, collecting a curiosity. We need to get gold somehow currently. Now, we'll be able to fix this problem relatively quickly because once this farmer's quarter is in, we'll probably go ahead and put this exploitation down on our gold, and that'll get us plus 2% money on our city, which hopefully will solve the majority, or at least some of our problem there with that 2% addition. So that's in the back of our minds as we're going through this as well. We'll go over here, and we can quickly see, just to check, we need 160 influence to put in our second city. I really want to get this second city in as quickly as possible. The problem also being is I really would like to put the Danu, and I really would like to put the Artisan's Quarter in as well as we're going through here. That's another 50, 60, that's another 60 influence we need to save up before we can get our second city down. That becomes slightly problematic because this is a science curiosity, and I don't really need a science luxury resource. I don't have to have a science resource right now. Whereas over here, I would really like potentially to have these in, and I really need to make an attachment to my capital city to get the added bonuses from this. Right here we have a 9 food, 15 industry outpost down in this territory. We want that 9 food and 15 industry in our capital as quickly as possible to benefit our capital. So you can start to see the conundrum becomes we have a finite number of influence. We need influence to do basically everything in the game right now. And so early game influence management is a critical kind of decision-making point in the game. One of the fun things I think about Humankind is I don't think you can make wrong decisions necessarily. There are probably better ways to use your influence. I'm probably going to delay my second city a little bit here because I think I do want to put these in and get this attachment done. Arguably, well, we got 36. We could get that second city in a few turns if we just kind of sit here for a little bit. It's a tough decision. It's a really tough decision. I think we make this decision based off of what's happening here. Right now, our competitors do not have the territory claims that we have. We've got some pretty decent claims going on, so I don't think we have to worry too much about claiming territory. We've got kind of the territories we might be looking for in the immediacy. We want to get our second city in as quickly as possible because then we would have 2 cities to their 1. We're going to increase our influence generation time over time for that. I think that because our capital city is currently sitting in a pretty decent spot, like we are about to finish our farmer's quarter, we've got some pretty decent production going on, we've got population to spare in the city right now, I think that I'm actually going to go ahead and save our influence for getting this city in. And what that means is I probably just want to go ahead and put my Danu in right away here, and I probably want to go ahead and just put my Artisan's Quarter in as well. Now, we're going to want to put the Danu down first. This goes back to very similar stuff with the strategies around the harbor strat. You want your harbor down first before you put in any of your Artisan's Quarters because the cost of your Danu, your cost of your quarters will go up based on how many quarters you have. And the Artisan's Quarters are going to be the ones that are there. If you put more Artisan's Quarters in, you're going to raise the cost of your emblematic district that you're going to put in. So that's probably what we're going to want to do is go ahead and put this Artisan's Quarter in, boost our science, it's not a bad thing. We could definitely take the science boost, push our science a little bit harder. That's not a problem to me. And then we'll put our Danu in, and then we'll just save up to get our second city. I think I'm going to commit to that strat as much as I think it would also be probably just as good to just put in all 3 here, put in our Danu, put in our 2 Artisan's Quarters, and then attach to get our capital city going. I think I'm going to get the second city up and running first, then focus in on getting our capital kind of up and running in the best way possible. I'm going to commit to that because I've been wavering back and forth on it every time as I think about the game. So let's go ahead and commit. Let's throw a Danu down. We probably want it, I mean, on the coast is for this one, probably. We want to be able to surround it with quarters. And I'm thinking we've got a pretty decent harbor spot right here. And then we could get some market quarters in and around here. But a Danu sitting here on this, again, this land is completely useless. It's barren land. A Danu sitting there I don't think is a bad strategy. You could also think about putting it up here, but that's really nice land for later on. So I don't think I really want to do that. So I'm going to throw the Danu maybe here. It'll be adjacent then to a harbor, and then we could get some other things around it. So I like the idea of maybe putting it right in this particular area. So I'm going to go ahead and put this down. That's going to, again, net us +3 per turn as well. So, of course, it costs us 27, but we're going to get 3 out of it. So let's slap that in, and then we'll also buy in our Artisan's Quarter right away. And you'll notice the cost of the Artisan's Quarter did not go up, right? If you do it the other way around, your cost of your emblematic district will go up because you have more buildings in that particular space. I don't know why, particularly the Artisan's Quarters don't go up in cost. I think it's they're considered slightly different than a district, right? Or whatever, for whatever reason. So that's kind of my understanding anyway. So we'll go ahead and slap this in as well because we want to do that before we form the city. So that's just going to spend a bunch, right? That's going to spend a bunch of our influence down, which is not bad. We gained some gold because they're now buying our ambergris, and our science just went up a considerable amount. So all good things, right? Again, we could have gotten +2 food per farmer at our capital, which would have been a lot. That's a bunch of food because we're gonna have 3 farmers working at our capital shortly. That's another 6 food on top of that. Pretty nice. We could have also gotten another +3 industry on our administrative center, so we could have gotten +3 industry here, which again would be really nice. So again, there are so many ways to spend your influence. You kind of have to commit to whatever you want to do. I'm going to commit to the second city because I think that's going to be very powerful. We also have this in as well, so we have plenty of ebony that we could potentially be getting into, which is kind of crazy. So again, this would get us a bunch more industry. I'm tempted even to put that in, but again, I'm gonna stick with it. I'm gonna stick with the idea of I want to get the second city in as fast as possible so we can increase our overall influence generation faster to hopefully have a better kind of push towards being able to put in more territories. I think that a second city early is very key, and I think can set you up for really great success. The problem, of course, with that is you're spending your influence on territory claims and attachments rather than on your territory claiming, right? You're not actually claiming territories from your opponents. You're spending your influence on other things. So we'll see if that backfires on us and we get forward settled really heavily and backed into a corner. And then we'll have to change our tactics and strategy a little bit. But for now, what we want to do basically is now not spend any influence from this point on until we have our 160 influence to be able to get our second city in. Optimally, we could find some curiosities that might benefit us to be able to push faster towards that. So that's the goal as we move our armies around. There we go. We get one right away. There we go. Science star earned, and we got a curiosity. That curiosity is going to net us 8 science and 10 influence. That 10 influence is going to get us to our second city much faster. So curiosity is very important in the game at this point. All right, this army is way in the north. We don't mind if Plosif is in here claiming these territories. We don't really want that, right? There's no resources out here, so he can have all of that territory if he wants. I'm going to focus on claiming territory that has resources in it, because that's what I'd like to acquire. We need to, I guess we have to go this way. This is our path, so we'll keep an eye out. We probably should have moved a little slower just to see, what's going on there, but we'll do that. And these guys are busting up this fog, so we'll probably just jump them. Oh, it looks like there might be a block here. We'll jump on river and
It's
see.
one of those moments that make you feel like a small thing on a wondrous planet.
There's 50 fame and another 30 science. So that's beautiful. Victoria Falls, +5 food, +5 money on city outposts, and -10 food, population consumption on city outposts. This is a really nice one. And now we pretty much have the spot for our third city. I mean, this is where we want it, right? We've got horses, we've got river, we've got salt. I mean, this piece of land is, this is not part of that territory. Where does oh wow, this is a really weird shaped territory. I think this salt is possibly part of this territory. Either way, this land is going to be amazing, and Victoria Falls makes for a really nice settle. So we also want to think about getting this in, right, and turning it into. Well, we're definitely going to want to claim it so that we have the wonder in our city, and that will set up for our third city up here. So we'll have a city here, we'll have a city here, and we'll have our capital. So there's our kind of 1, 2, 3. We'll see if we need to probably get another one up here. We're just going to kind of spread the southern settle here. That's going to make it interesting to see how we kind of claim up and divide our lands between our different cities. But this will be a territory claim for sure that we'll have to save up for once we have our second city in. This may become a priority as well, getting that in. Okay. I don't see any other curiosities here, so we'll have these guys continue. I kind of want to go up the coastline, I think. Although, if we pop up here, we might see a curiosity, right? Like in this area. No, not quite. Okay, let's get them on river here. No curiosities for that army, that's fine. Here's a single guy that's just kind of hanging out. There is a deer. That could get us gold. That's 2 deer, so we don't really want to fight it. We don't really want to fight it by ourselves, but if we bring this unit in, then maybe we could fight the deer on the next turn. Get ourselves that little bit of gold we need to continue to maintain that. But Burley is claimed all the way down to here, which is close. Although we don't have to have this territory. If Burley wants to come down all the way through here, that's totally fine to me. I've got this claim is all I really need over here, to be honest. So we're going to we'll pay attention to that a little bit, but I don't mind giving up some of this land because there's no resources on it. Let's make sure we bring these guys at least closer together. I don't think we're going to find any curiosities again. I'll put him on river maybe just to see a little more and then try to get these 2 together so we can fight these deer on a future turn to net that gold that we might be looking for. Plosific is moving out here. We're fine with that. We just want to kind of optimize this guy as far as where do we not... we haven't been back here in a while, so maybe we let's cut south with this guy maybe just to see what we see. We find a curiosity that would be up. So we'll push him up towards a hill. A lair is fine. There's going to be bears here to fight, which would be great. So we'd love, because we have an army of 3, so that's great. We'd love to run into a bear, or even 2 bears we should be able to take in a fight. We'll probably see that happen here next time. This guy was meant to be kind of our claim person over here, but I think he's kind of done claiming stuff. He does have some level of veterancy, but man, we could disband him into our city, although we're going to run into a food issue, so maybe we don't for now. I'm going to go ahead and run him north a little bit, just to see if we can find maybe a curiosity up in the desert here. Ah, there's one. We won't be able to get it this turn, but we can have him slide in that direction. Hopefully, get a little more influence out of that would be nice. These guys just came from the south, I believe, so I'll swing them maybe in this direction. And we actually get to select a new tech at this point as well. So we have lots of different potential options now. We could go to fishing, get access to harbors, and that would be even more influence we could potentially spend, which would be wild. Or we could go, we could 5 turns into writing, which is actually worth fame. So I'm going to take a shot at that because I don't think anyone has unlocked that yet. 5 turns into that is kind of crazy. Our science per turn is also huge. You can see very quickly we're going to burn our way through science in the ancient era. So the only thing that's going to hold us back is how many stars we want and whether we get enough Danus in as we kind of float through the game here. Let's do a quick double check on
to what do I owe
2 turns so we can do treaties. And we can't really trade for anything else.
How do you do?
No luxuries for plosive so far. But good relationships with our neighbors, which I'm okay with early game here, especially on Humankind difficulty. Ah, that's unfortunate. That is the writing one. Verba volanta scripta manet. That is discover writing. There's 50 fame for whoever just did that. So that's unfortunate as we just teched there. So we might actually, I might actually pull my tech off of that now, potentially, because I don't have to write. What am I gaining access to? We get laws. That is handy. Market quarter access. Yeah. Well, I think we'll just sit on. I think we'll sit on it just in case. I think this one, the -20 cost of enacting and canceling civics, that could be potent for us as we might want to be enacting some things, save us some influence in the long run. And I don't feel the need to have any of these yet. Irrigation will definitely be nice. We'll be able to get some really nice bonuses for our city. And I'd love to get an envoy out early. So we'll probably tech in that direction next. since we also have access to our archers, our warriors, and our unique unit already, so we don't really need to go down the military path too far, although organized warfare is critical for the use reinforcements piece if we get to the point of needing that, right? All right. There's another 10 science, 8 influence. Huge. We're progressing very quickly towards getting our second city in, which is very nice. These guys are going to float their way. And we'll go here first just to see what we see. And then let's hit the coastline. Hey, some bears. Cool. Let's swing around and let's attack the bear. There's a curiosity. That will be nice on the next turn. I think I want to manual fight this. I don't think I can do any better than that. 1 bear versus 3 units. We take a little bit of... I'm just gonna instant resolve that. We'll just instant resolve that. Then we'll go grab that on the next turn. Won't be able to quite get it, right? It's going to be a multi-turn move, but we'll get there when we get there. These guys have broken the fog here. There are the bears that we probably want to attack with our other group. Is it 2 bears or 1? It is a 2-bear group, so that's a little bit more trying of a circumstance than just the single bear, right? We keep them on river. We just keep these guys on river. Again, we're just trying to break as much of this fog as we can at any given time to see if there are any curiosities in the fog. Let's go back to the coastline here. I don't want to stand on this hill because I can't get off of it. Oh, and I actually can't even go down. So I guess we're going to go this way, I think, is our best bet. Further exploration, and then we're close to the river. This continent just is never ending. Goodness, when is the... I mean, it looks like we're at the coastline here, but there's a lot of good stuff over here on the other side of the continent as well, including our potential wonder claim that we have as well. These guys are hunting deer somewhere, right? That's the goal.
Off we go.
Where did wait! No!
Follow me.
Right turn! 20 gold. All right, so we got 20 gold out of it. That's fine. Where did this deer go? The deer that was here is gone. Let's see if we can find it. It may have despawned. That does happen. Or it ran off into the fog. So let's we'll poke our heads up here just to get some more exploration done. Gonna see what Burley's working with. Multiple salt, which we're already trading for, which is good. Here's the lair. I think we go burn it down, right? Our move is the burn down, and then the bears will come attack us, and then we, because we'll be pillaging or ransacking, should get an advantage on the attack, right? So we'll swing through here. I believe the bear may come attack us right away. Or it will be at the start of the next turn, so we'll see. It would be nice if it attacked us while we're still in the process of ransacking, because we are playing the Assyrians, and we have +5 attack strength, combat strength when ransacking. I believe this counts as a ransack, so we should have, for this one turn, we're going to have advantage on our combat strength. So if the bears come attack us here, we'll actually have a better chance at attacking than we would otherwise. All right. Oh yeah, these guys just grabbed a curiosity, so that's good. And where do we want to slide them to? We got units up there. We haven't seen up here in a while. We could also slide them back in this direction. I don't want them to lose sight of our city too much. Let's just cross the desert. We'll kind of poke our heads around up here, maybe. Unclaimed territories are the best way to do that. Oh, another 75 money. Nice. We got a bunch of gold, which is actually super handy because, again, we're losing gold per turn, so that works quite well. All right, these units are literally just kind of bopping around over here, just exploring to find curiosities, potentially. We'll cross them over here just to see, and then we'll probably bring them right back down again. This is such a large, expansive spot for curiosities to spawn. That's probably what we want to do. Okay, our city has finished our food. We're going to go ahead and slide our science guy over now because I don't think we really need the science. Our science is kind of pretty hefty right now. So we'll go ahead and grab that, move over. We're going to grow in population by 1 anyway. So next turn, we'll pop right back over into science again. And I believe we could start working on something like a holy site or an embassy, which could be very useful. But I think I want to put in our artisan's quarter to solve our money problem sooner rather than later. So let's go ahead and spend our next few turns working on that. And then we have an event, the Game of Prophecy. All right, so we lost the game, right? I'm fated to lose everything. We can pay 80 gold to silence the guy. That moves us in the wrong direction on the order axis. We don't want to go that way. We can overlook it and lose some stability, but it moves us in the right direction on this axis. Or we can heat it and we lose 2 science. We're going to go ahead and overlook because we could double check this, but I am relatively certain. Yeah, we have 29 surplus on our city, so we are not concerned currently with that. So an easy response to our game of prophecy. We will overlook it, lose some stability because we're overlooking a prophecy, but it will put us in the right direction and doesn't have any kind of negative consequences for us in the near-ish future. I believe we have one more turn before treaties.
On your mind.
So we will press the next turn button. Continue moving along. Salto and Hell has been locked by another empire. So Salto and Hell in this game. A ransack successful. And, oh, Burley has invested in our ebony extractor, and it's the 3 ebony extractor. That is money for us. Burley coming in clutch with the merchant affinity ability. That's beautiful. And then he bought it from us. That just, oh, that's huge for our empire. Burley just gave us +3 science in our administrative center, and then another +2 or +4, I believe, right? The cumulative effect is +2 per extra. I think we just got, what, 7 industry? Oh, man, that's beautiful. Plus the stability. So Burley investing in a very powerful extractor for us, which is going to be huge. And then he paid us money for it as well. So gotta love a good merchant neighbor to enhance your abilities. All right, we got this fight going on. We knew this was going to happen. We don't really want to instant resolve this. Man, yeah, this is bad positioning for us, unfortunately. We got 2 bears, but we want to try to get them attacking off water. So we're going to manual fight this. I don't want to, I want to probably stand on these tiles and then rotate our guys around because that would be not high ground and they'd be attacking off of bad placement, right? So let's go ahead and stick these guys here. And then I'm assuming actually this unit is going to get attacked the most because they're probably going to take our flag, which might be problematic. But let's do this setup on this high ground. That way they're attacking off river. They're just going to hang out. I still like our positioning, so okay, they ran away. This is not what I thought was going to happen. I don't really want to go get them, although they did put themselves in a hole. They're literally just sitting on low ground, but the river kind of cancels the high ground effect out, so I mean, they're attacking us. So I guess we're just going to sit there. That kind of puts a damper on things, but this bear is already damaged, which tells me there's either free peoples or somebody else in this area. I would love to attack this bear. Where do I want to attack the bear from? Go like this, and then like take the high ground on the back side of it, like force them. It's 2 bears again, right? So another kind of problematic battle, but these are damaged bears. But we can actually instant resolve this and win the fight. And that might be the best way for me to do it. I'm just going to instant resolve this fight. Perfect. Didn't lose any units. We definitely need to not take any more fights with these guys, though. We'll go ahead and move these guys straight to here, bearing as their... If there's an aggressive free peoples here, this army might be in a substantial amount of trouble. And if there is, we actually... both of these armies could possibly be in a possible world of hurt. Let's go here. Okay, so we'll go grab this on the next turn. That's going to be kind of a little out and down. It's going to waste a little bit of time, but we definitely want that. We're at 142 influence. The next turn will see us acquire enough influence to put in our city. So this will become a city on our next turn. We like that because we'll get it all set up and ready to go. And then we can start with attachments and expanding on our capital and potentially some territory claims, right? Plosif is claiming up territory here now. Burley is claiming up territory to the north. So everything going pretty smoothly in that regard for us. That works for me. These guys are kind of hanging out. We just kind of got up here. I wonder if we should just cut back up through here. There's a lot of possible...
Let's go.
Oh, an encampment. Perfect. We'll go ahead and ransack this encampment. That will get us some gold. And we don't mind that at all. These guys were still hunting for deer, but I honestly don't... there's no deer that I'm seeing. Burley may have taken out the deer. Oh, there's a curiosity in this land. I don't think we'll get there before Burley, but in case Burley doesn't go there, we'll try to sneak it. Just move this guy back in this direction. See what we can see. He grabbed a curiosity on the last turn, so that's been good. These guys were just exploring the floor. I think let's pop up here, because this is still possible curiosity spawn area.
Come over here.
Slip our way up here. Okay, there's nothing in this direction. That's fine. We'll send him back down and around. And then these guys were kind of doing the same thing. We'll bring them around. And there is their curiosity. Perfect. That's the one we want. 10 science and 8 influence. That's beautiful. We're actually 10 influence away from putting the city in this turn, which is kind of unfortunate, to be honest. If we would have had that 10 more, we could have gotten it in a whole turn sooner. But it'll leave us with some extra influence to mess around with in the next turn. Probably put in some of these and get ready to run an attachment off of our capital city. So let's jump to the next turn. Oh, wait. Almost forgot.
So nice.
Treaties are available. Let's jump to trade everything.
I have a proposition for you.
We could now trade for horses and
think you'll
copper,
like it.
which is really nice. So we'll go ahead and
Accepted.
go with that. We'll do the same thing here.
Is an enigma.
Because that's all, he only has copper. So in case we want to trade for
We
any of
would
that,
all
no,
benefit from
I will not pay you 60 gold for it.
I find your
All right, so plosive already causing us problems. If you have been here before, you know that's not a surprise. Let's end turn, and we got a big turn coming up on our next one. We're also up to 17, only losing 17 money per turn, so that's also looking very good. But we also want to think about the expansionist ability, right? We can target another empire's outpost or administrator center with an army and forcibly add it to our empire. It takes a few turns, but it basically is like it's like a steal, essentially, right? So it would be an unattached territory, so it has to be unattached. So we don't have that many options, right? But if we get forward settled, we could use our ability effectively to just snag that, which would be pretty useful because otherwise it costs influence, right? So we'll keep that in mind as we're going through that expansionist ability. Are we going to get to use it? Not sure. Maybe. All right, ransack successful. That's going to net us some gold. We'll get our units moving. There's 2 curiosity pickups. That's lovely. So we did get a couple of those curiosities we were going for, which is nice. And let's jump into this fight again. These they're not going to fight us, so it's just going to end. We're just going to end as a win. Like, that's a win for us. Nobody loses anything. The bears are now over here. So we want to try to find maybe a better spot to fight them. That was a very odd fight. Aggressive bears are usually going to attack in that scenario. They did. They initiated the attack, and then they just, like, went away and didn't actually attack our units. That feels quite odd, actually. All right, let's keep moving in this direction. I like getting the coast explored.
An enormous leap forward. From mundane tallies of crops
All right, that was the science.
to recording
I
the
guess
wisdom
we
of
must
sages.
have uncovered a wonder.
Humankind now wields the most powerful tool of all.
Chocolate Hills. Writing has
Not
been
everything
researched.
worth appreciating was forged
There
by
is
human
another
hands.
50 fame for us. Beautiful. I can't believe no one else had gotten out here. 30 science as well for that. And Chocolate Hills also on the map. This is +5 industry on City Outpost. Sharing discoveries. +3 science on embassy for each empire you've encountered. Oh, interesting. Wait, sharing discoveries. +3 science on your embassy for each empire you have encountered. And +3 science on their embassy. Interesting. Okay, so an embassy-based wonder. Sounds like it could actually possibly be useful. Plus, it's got some extra industry, so I'm not opposed to that. So that looks like it might be a sitting on coast or close to coast. So, very far north now also has some intrigue. It also had sitting on some sage, which is very potent, and some horses as well. So maybe the location for a 4th city as we're kind of going through the game. So we'll see. If we can push that far. That's a pretty far push. Uh-oh. We have our first free peoples. They've got archers, so we don't really want to pick that fight. They are peaceful, so that is a very good news. What we'd actually love... Here's what I'd love to have happen. If these people were to go and settle this territory, or something adjacent to this, if they put down their city adjacent to Victoria Falls, that becomes our 3rd city, and we basically will just make them a war priority. That'll be our goal, right? So we'll keep an eye on that. They're probably going to be trying to settle something right in here. If they settle this one, that actually works for me. Oh, this one has Halong Bay. I totally forgot. We have Halong Bay here as well. So if they settle Halong Bay, we could actually make a city that has Halong Bay and Victoria Falls, which would be lovely. Halong Bay is meh, but Victoria Falls is really nice. And so if we just if they settle a city somewhere in here, it gives us a war target. We're playing Assyria. We should have a war target. That would be optimal for us, actually. If they actually settle their city somewhere right in here, and then we'll just make that kind of our target of war. Continue our quest across the southern part of the continent. That would actually be super helpful, in my opinion. Okay, we grabbed this curiosity. Continue exploring the coastline. There's more sage over here. This continent is rich. Very rich continent. At least on the southern half, which happens to be where I am, so that works for me. Alright, I never saw what we were looking for up here. I think we've explored far enough up. Although we could just keep setting this guy up here. I don't think we're going to find anything up here, but just in case we do. Let's see. We'll see what happens. Looks like Burley did get that curiosity, right? And I would love to group these two guys together, but I can't seem to get them in the same space at the same time. That way, if we run into a bear or something, we can actually pick the fight. Oh, there's aggressive free peoples up here. That is excellent news for us if they stay up here. If they come down, that will be problematic. We would love for these guys to stay in this vicinity. They've got spearmen and archers, which is not the best type of army, but we want them to put a claim in up here. So the free peoples have now spawned in, essentially, and it's looking interesting. Burley has made an attachment as well, so Burley's capital city growing rapidly as we progress through the game. And we'll try to move our units away from this. I don't know if we'll get that. They're probably going to attack our units, so they'll attack on the next turn. We'll have to retreat away, and then we'll just abandon this and hope that the free people settle a city like right up in here somewhere and not come down towards our land. That will be the goal, right? So we'll try to push in that direction. This guy's just, again, just uncovering space, as is this guy. But these guys, I think, he comes straight back down here now again. A lot of visibility in these plains to be able to see possible stuff going on. We also need to put our city in, so I'm not going to hit that end turn button until we get our second city in. Our tech tree now, after we've gotten writing, I think will encourage us to try to get an envoy, because we have 2 neighbors and possible grievances that are going to start coming out. So let's go to Wheel. I think that's going to be our best bet. We don't need irrigation yet. Irrigation is very powerful. I'm going to get Wheel first so we can maybe get an envoy out and about to try to collect a little bit of diplomacy, at least. Some of those leverages. I think that would be advantageous to us. We'll probably try to pick up one of these 2 and then get to organized warfare as we do that. Okay, let's come over here to Warren. There's not a lot of industry here. This is an industry-barren land, so we're going to need... I didn't really think about that, did I? We're going to need an attachment relatively quickly in somewhere that's going to get us industry, which is going to be this territory here. This territory is beautiful. And hindsight, obviously, if we would have gotten out here with our outpost, that would in the Neolithic era, if we would have gotten out here with our outpost, that would have been optimal, right? This is a much better location for a city. But we'll attach into this. That way we can build a bunch of districts out here and kind of the land that kind of sucks, and then we'll basically just try to work everything over here as much as we can. So we'll get a claim in over here probably relatively quickly and make that attachment probably quickly as well as we kind of head in that direction. Because that also puts us further towards where we want to go, where things could get claimed. So I think that will probably work to our advantage. So we probably want to prep for a claim here some point in the near future. But let's get our city in, because that was the whole point of doing all of this, is to get more influence online. So we're going to go ahead and go with our city. We'll put it in. We got all the stuff in the city already, in the territory, so we're good to go there. There's our expansion star. And Nenua. Nenua will be our first city. We will go straight into our pottery workshop to get that +4 online. This city is going to be relatively slow growing, and we could put a couple people in it. We're going to go ahead and slide this person over here. It's nice that it already has 3 influence. We'll go ahead and put it on expert policy so that our next person will slide into industry. We're growing in 2 turns. We've got 30 food, though. I mean, food will not be a problem. Production will definitely be an issue here because the production is quite low. But when we get an attachment in, we'll probably work through that. So that'll be our first build there. We are 2 turns away from getting our gold online, and that will be advantageous as well. Now, we also have 40 influence left over. And the next move for our influence, I believe... Let's check wonders just to see if anyone has claimed anything. No one has claimed a wonder. It's really tempting to go after, like, pyramids or something like that. But we need to get our capital attached. Like, that's our next goal, right? So, let's... We don't want to attach yet, because we want to get these in first. So, we basically want to put our Danu down, and then on the next couple turns, we're going to want to put our artisan quarters in and then run this attachment. So, that's going to be the next use of our influence. Then we'll make another decision about what we next go for with our influence. Do we go for a couple territory claims? Do we try to get a claim in up here somewhere? Do we wait to see what the Free Peoples do? I think we wait to see what the Free Peoples do. Try to get our claims in down here in the kind of key areas that we need them. Because we still need this claim. to get access to this gold. We need this claim to get access to this gold. And we definitely need this claim to put... Oh, actually, you know what? This is probably the claim here. We want to get access to this papyrus. And probably someone's going to push for that. This is going to get the city up and running faster. I think obviously we got a lot of claims to make, so we'll see. Let's check our capital really quick. We have 11 food. So I think getting the coffee online is probably our more important thing than getting the ebony online. So let's go ahead and let's go coffee first, because it gets a different resource that someone can buy from us as well. So we'll go here. Let's get the coffee online. Oh no, sorry, we want to put the Danu in first. Danu first. Danu first. We also want the Danu to be surrounded by quarters. So we could put a Danu like here, and then it would get surrounded by quarters right away. Because it is a commons quarter. That would be intriguing, but also that's a really nice market quarter spot. So I'm kind of more on the line of, what if we put it like here? Put the Danu here? And then we could have a market quarter here. We could surround it a little bit. Maybe I think the hamlet probably goes somewhere in this vicinity. So let's Danu right here. There's a lot of options for how to place these probably, but we'll go here. I think. There's our Builder Star. Builder Star is going to come fast and quick, fast and heavy here in this era because of all the influence buys we're going to be doing. That's one of the advantages to having a lot of resources, is you can influence buy in your builds, and then you get the Builder Star very fast. Okay. We'll wait. Next turn, we might actually be able to put both of these in next turn and then attach on the turn after that. So I think we're rocking and rolling with that. Okay. This wonderful bungle range has been locked by another empire. We got lots of wonders, like the Tron also. And then religion spread has now started. So we are following our religion.
Time for your first battle? I bet you're absolutely dying to see how your fighters handle themselves.
Okay, so the attack that we predicted to happen is happening, right? We have Nubian's polytheism up here. Our religion has been like fully converted over here, which is kind of nice. So we're actually pushing religion harder than both of our current folks, which is good. We could take a nice religion bonus over top of our neighbors, because it looks like our faith generation is considerably higher than theirs currently. We do have 2 cities down, so that does make sense, because we took polytheism, so we're now pushing a lot of faith out of these 2 spots. So that makes good sense to me. Okay, obviously for this battle, we can just resolve this now. We're going to retreat this. We hope they go this way. Perfect, they did. We're also going to run this unit away. So we're out of here, right? We hope that they stay up there. We're gonna abandon this area to them. That's totally fine with me. I'm even gonna take this unit. We're just gonna say, look, get out of here. Maybe maybe send them here-ish, maybe. That's where they want to go next turn. We'll just get them as far away as we can from that area. We'll come back through here, look for any curiosities, and then probably bring these guys around to be disbanded somewhere. Again, disband and then probably train into an army, because we've got potential free people stuff going on. So we want to be prepared to maybe make some moves on the free peoples as we get going. We'll jump onto this river. Okay, coast comes all the way down here, so it looks like we're approaching the end of this continent.
Over this way.
It's a huge continent, to be honest. Nice. 8 science and 10 more influence. That's huge. Oh, we just got up to 89 influence with that. Wait, where did we get the rest of that influence from? Oh, sorry, we haven't done this turn yet. Huh, like, where did the influence come from? We ended our turn. That's what happened. So let's do this. Let's go ahead and put these in. Let's get coffee in first. We're gonna be able to put both of them down though. We'll get both of those in, and we have 30 left over to make an attachment. We do not. We do not. We need a 30. We need 9 more. We need 9 more. If we have a curiosity spawn, we could possibly. Oh, where are these guys going? No, don't go up here. What are you thinking?
Over this way.
Friends, go claim a territory. Do land things.
Off we go.
I'll just run my guys away and see if they'll do what I want them to. All right, these bears are right here. We could just run this attack. Do we attack these bears just straight out? Not if we attack them from here. We definitely want to run the attack this way. Although they still probably end up on high ground. There's another bear up there? Sweet goodness. I don't want to lose a unit, so we're just having to manual fight these. And yeah, we're taking high ground spots basically, right? We just plop ourselves in this high ground and then see if the bears will come attack us. I think that's our best bet, right? switch these guys. Okay, so they're gonna attack from river, it looks like, onto potentially our river, but this will... We can attack down, at least, the first attack here. This scout, and this scout actually can attack down into the bear. This scout will stay and just defend. Okay, perfect. Perfect, and I think, actually, we'll just go ahead and... I think we just run this attack on the bear. We're not going to lose the unit, so...
All together.
And then we'd actually want to... If this guy can move out, then we'll just run an attack with this guy right.
For your family.
Bear's dead. Gold claimed. It's 20 gold for that, but we get some experience for our units. 20 gold is not, like... I'm not, like, stoked about it, but... you'll take the gold. You'll take the gold. That's fine, right? Okay, I think we were just over here, so yeah, let's run him. We've been like up in this area. Yeah, we're searching for curiosities here to the best of our ability. We don't want this guy going too far away from kind of the ability to claim things down here, so let's not run him too far away. We also want to get this claim in. Where's our nearest units? These guys could probably, or this guy could even swing down, make some claims over here. All right, these guys, I think I actually want... Poke our heads down here real quick, and then we'll just head back up here. See if we see anything. I don't think we will. Let's check our... really quickly.
A pleasure to see you again.
We don't have any more salt online. No crises as of yet.
How do you do, whoever you are?
Okay, so our two neighbors, we're still amicable with them. The struggle for Dominion. The capital is the Empire's true seat of power, but we have other places now. We definitely would like our +1 city cap. We don't need this yet. So what we're going to do is, we're not going to put this in yet, because we don't need city cap yet. It would get us +2 influence on emblematic district. Ooh. That's kind of tempting. That's kind of tempting. How many Danus do we have in? 3? We have 3 Danus in, so that's 6. That's 6 influence per turn. So we'd make back the 21 influence in like 3 turns. Just by doing this, and we'd have our city cap up already. Would we be able to make... We'd still be able to make our attachment because we're making like 60 influence per turn. I'm going to do this, actually. Oh, sorry. We don't have the influence to do it. It requires 28. We have 21. My bad. We probably should do this on the next turn, though, to be honest. That's probably a good play for us. Okay, let's end turn.
Another empire has opened an embassy.
All right.
A
Oh, and
powerful
sacred
symbol
ground
of
as well.
diplomacy and a hotbed of rumor, gossip, and intelligence.
I don't
So-
mean to be pushy.
An embassy has been built and a holy site has been built. Burley has built the first holy site. So there you go. Burley has a holy site down. So now we're going to have some competition as far as faith is concerned. So Sacred Ground and the embassy have both been unlocked. The embassy was not worth any fame, apparently. But the holy site was. This guy and this guy are kind of... So we can almost put these 2 units on auto explore now. Let's go... Let's just make sure we're busting up as much fog as we can. Hey, man, did we choose the right way or what? There's 20 gold. We'll take it. It's not what we wanted, but it's not bad. We want these free peoples to go do something. I'm going to swing... We got 2 units up here. I'm going to swing these guys back down again. Just going to play in... Just like hopscotch or something. What are we playing with these guys? We're going back and forth with those guys for sure. These guys are going to finish exploring the continent. Let's just hit this. Ooh, another sage. And it's a 3-spot sage. There's some lovely land up to the north here as well. We're going to want to max our influence generation as quickly as possible because expansion is looking like we definitely want to go there. Okay, we know there's a bad free peoples, an aggressive free peoples here. So we're going to keep just running our units away, essentially. We'll put them on river so we can get them this way. That guy's used all his movement already. This guy, what were we thinking about? Having him come and make our claim, right? Maybe we'll run him around. Let's run him around and see if we can't get him to make that claim. Keep an eye out for curiosities on our way. And we'll just kind of move him, yeah, such that he will be able to jump into this territory. Where's our claim? Probably like here somewhere. Oh, there, or here. There's some, or right here, right on this spot. Oh, there's some really nice spots in here. That's going to be tough. This is going to be tough to decide. We'll have to see what our numbers look like when we get there. Let's see. These guys have explored pretty much their whole area. Just keep them running around. Honestly, maybe we should disband one of them. Maybe one of these guys should disband. Let's take a quick look. This guy's got some serious veterancy. They both do. They both have some nice veterancy. I'd like to keep our veteran units available for stuff, but eventually we're probably going to have too many of those because they've all gotten in like little fights, and we don't want to like overextend and do that kind of thing. Okay, our gold is online. We're now only losing 2 money per turn. That's beautiful. And we can start focusing on other things for our capital city. We're pushing science still. Honestly, our science is really good. Like, we're cruising through science, but I think we're going to keep it there. We're growing again in 1 turn. The idea of getting more food is important, but I actually think that we need another worker slot. I think another worker slot is going to be pretty critical for us as we get going, or we start putting our turns into our holy site and getting our holy site online. That might be beneficial to start working these 2 things. I think before I do that, I want to put in a maker's quarter because we have a really nice maker's quarter spot right in here probably. It takes only 1 food. Oh, we don't get access to those mountains yet though. Ugh, so never mind. I thought we had a good maker's quarter spot. We do once we claim this territory, which we do want. But we have to attach that in before we get the benefits of it. So our best makers. Oh, that's a 9 makers quarter though, and it's not adjacent to the Danu. It doesn't even push us in that direction. What if we did here instead, so that we could have access to our Danu in case we want to build anything out there? A 7 is not bad. A 9 is really nice. We can always put another one there. I like the idea of pushing closer to our Danu so we can get some districts around it as a commons quarter. I'm going to go ahead and put it here. Okay, we're going to go there. We'll get that in, and then we're going to build these 2 things in the capital, I think. Plus we're going to attach, right? We're ready for attachment. How close are we to harbors? Because we could influence buy in a harbor as well. Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves. We can build in some harbors, like it's fine. We've already built in like a bazillion things here. Like a harbor would be nice, but... Oh, you know what a harbor would get us, though? A harbor, at least 1 harbor, would get us access to boats. And we do want some boats. Let's check. Tech Tree says we are 3 turns away from a harbor. Let's make sure we get harbors in the rest of our territories. I'm not gonna wait the 3 turns right now. I want to get this attachment in, right? Let's get the attachment. It's a thought. It was a thought. Maybe we should have pushed harbors earlier so we could have bought it in with influence, but we'll have to build it in this particular territory. It's fine. I'm a little sad about it, but I'm not too sad about it. All right, let's attach. That's gonna push our capital city in really lovely places. We'll pull our science guy over here, which is great. So that will help us a ton. Beautiful. Now we're gonna get our maker's quarter still in 5 turns. I'm surprised that our industry went up. We're still gonna take 5 turns to get that maker's quarter in. That's fine. Technically, we probably had a better maker's quarter over here. We definitely did. Like, we definitely had we could have put a maker's quarter somewhere in here. It would have been probably arguably a better maker's quarter, but that's okay. We'll go with it for now. Oh, you know why? The maker's quarter, because we didn't build the maker's quarter first, when we added in, we already had the Danu. We had the ebony, we had the coffee. So our cost on the maker's quarter went up by a bunch when we attached. Now, it got canceled out by the fact that our industry went up, but now, we could actually switch this away from maker's quarter, because we have plenty of industry now. Okay, this actually, I think I'm going to switch. We're going to build our holy site. I think we switch into a holy site. We put the holy site like on this desert next to our Danu, because is that the spot for our holy site? I like a holy site in a desert. I feel like maybe we're a desert peoples, so maybe we make like our holy site pilgrimage site. Put it like over here somewhere. Oh, right, I forgot that these now have adjacency bonuses. Oh, let's remember that real quick. Adjacency bonuses for holy sites, making it so you don't just put them out in the middle of nowhere anymore. I totally forgot about that. So a holy site can be built, so adjacent to farmers' quarters, you get faith and food. Adjacent to makers' quarters, you get faith and industry. Research, you get faith and science. And market quarters, you get faith and money. So we don't get a bonus for having it adjacent to a commons quarter, but I think the commons quarter still benefits from having it next to it. Like it still counts as a district, I think. For being next to a commons quarter? Let me know in the comments if that's true or not. It might not actually be. we actually kind of want to put it where we're going to have it adjacent to a bunch of districts, possibly, right? Like, that's why it's telling me, like, this is a nice spot for it. Because it's already, it would be adjacent to 2 districts, possibly. We're getting the food out of it already. Not a bad spot to tuck it in right here. But down in the valley. We get faith. We'd eventually get industry out of it. We could surround it with things. But we're going to surround this Danu as well. So we could also put it somewhere up here. And then hopefully the Danu would benefit from it. But then we could also surround it with other quarters. I kind of like this idea. I think I'm going to stick it right here. Yeah, let's put it right here. Like, that's the play. We'll put that in. We might work the Maker's Quarter after that, but let's get our Holy Site in, because I think that's going to be important to push our religion a little bit. All right, we have another Civic. We can unlock Procession. We can go minus 30 on Religious District Industry cost. We're building a Religious District right now. Our districts are not religious, but for 28... we want to get some claims in, but man, we can get our Holy Site out way faster. We get a 30% reduction cost on that. I'm going to go ahead and do it. I'm going to do it. We're also going to get plus 5% city, so money. So that also works for me. I'm going to do it.
I suppose there are
We probably also should have done the leadership one for the extra influence per turn. But you can see we've reduced this down to 5 turns, so we can get our faith up a little higher, and then we can also get our capital city moving on to bigger and better things a little more quickly. Okay, are these the bears? This is another bear attacking me. Can we instant resolve this fight? Let's double check that it's a single bear. We take a little damage, but I mean, I honestly, like, whatever. I'm just gonna instant resolve this. Out of here, bear! All right, so we instant resolve that fight, and now we have another event occurring to us. We have miners, and they have found a beast in the cave. Will we dismiss? That gets us plus 14 industry. On our capital, which is kind of nice. Also pushes us towards science, which is good. We can investigate, which gets us stability. We don't need stability. Or we can have a reduction in cost for building units and push us towards this. I'm going to go with dismiss. We're going to take the 10 stability loss because I think, well, hold on. We did just do a bunch of additions. 14 surplus, so we're good. We're still good on that. So let's go ahead and we're also building something that gets us more stability. So I think we're fine taking the dismiss. Gonna get us all the little things that we want. And that will take us to the end of this week's episode. I'm glad we made some progress there. I feel like we did some good things there. We probably didn't get as many turns as maybe I necessarily wanted to, but that's okay. Again, there's so many decisions to make about how to use influence. We still have 28 influence, so I don't think we probably buy something in potentially if we wanted to. But I think at this point in the juncture, we want to, this unit is about to enter this territory. Our next influence thing is going to be getting this city attached in here to increase its productivity. We need our production increase, so let's go ahead and get that in. It's probably gonna be our next, so we're gonna claim it, then we gotta build all the stuff in it and then attach it, so that will be our next piece of the puzzle for this city. Honestly, at that point, we have to check and see what our neighbors are doing. I have a strong inclination to try to get another city up in here rather than get claims out. I mean, a third city this early would be unprecedented and would probably cost us a bunch. In fact, we can test how much it would cost us. 510. We might go after a wonder instead. So again, lots more decisions to potentially be made in our game. We're about to get our Holy Site down. We've got several of our Danus in, which is great. We've got a bunch of resources online. We have pretty good relationships with our neighbors. There's an aggressive Free People up to the north. There is a peaceful Free People over here where I'd really like them to put a city so that we can run a potential Free People's war, go and capture a city over here and make it our own. So we're keeping an eye on these Free Peoples right here for that. But looking pretty good. Our capital city is functioning well. We're making 70 influence per turn, which is a really nice number, I feel like, this early on. So I'm pleased with the direction that the game is headed. Thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate the views. I appreciate you following the videos. If you like the content, hit that thumbs up button. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel with the notifications on so you get notified when we post the next video in the series. Sundays is when they come out. Thank you all so much again, and I'll see you next week.